Hi, this is the third part of the video, Magic the Lost Planet. So, some of the children that you have aborted in the cities and flushed down the toilets into the sewers have not died. These beings, the Vulcans, Voltex, Troglodytes, have taken them and have nursed them back to health. They groomed them, and now these children walk amongst us. They are waiting for the day to take control of the earth. They hate you with good reason, because their first contact with any object was somebody trying to hack them to death, or some doctor trying to crush their head to pull them out of their mother. Because some parents say that they love you to the point where they are the ones who say, if anybody wants to kill you, it might as well be me. Parents say that. The moment the daughter comes home pregnant at 13 years old, the parents sit around discussing whether or not they should be murderers. Should we kill this kid? Isn't that what they talk about? It is a sin. Thou shalt not kill. Exodus 20:13. Who gave them the right to abort? Then they say it is really not alive. Everybody knows when it's a sperm cell, it's alive. It may not be what you call life, but it's alive. So the Vulcans have received these children, and they have an underground army that's moving, and they live on surface. These people have access to the banks and the cars. So now, because of mixing and breeding with humans, these reptilians are in your genes. Their genes show up in people, and you can see it through their physical features as well as their attitude. Everything is negative or disagreeable. A very common physical feature or trait of reptilians that show up more and more in Nubians is the back of the head is flat, of what is termed slope head. Another defect from mixing with reptilians is puffy fingertips and long nails and webbed hands. Many skin diseases come from mixing with extraterrestrials. The skin disorder called eczema is from mixing the genes with reptilians, which in extreme cases is very dry, scaly skin that looks like leather. Everybody has scales. When you don't put on oil or lotion, you easily see the flakes on your skin. It is what you call ash. Then there are more extreme cases where there are serious hereditary skin disorders such as ichthyosis or fish skin disease, marked by patches of dry, rough, scaly, discolored skin which is constantly peeling. The skin around the eyes peels, which makes the eyes tear all the time and can cause blindness. This goes to show that extraterrestrials have been mixing in your genes, and because your genetic makeup may not be compatible with theirs, you end up with all sorts of unexplained diseases and disorders, such as the tribe in Zimbabwe, South Africa, called the ostrich people. it is believed that the ostrich people are descendants of extraterrestrials who crashed down in Zimbabwe 200 years ago. They are about 100 in number, and when they give birth to children, they are born with the same two-toed feet. Look it up. I've been telling you about different species of extraterrestrials for years. If you choose not to do your research and settled with not knowing, then it's your fault for remaining ignorant and perhaps becoming somebody's fool. There is a group called the Satanists, who are not the same as the Luciferians. The Satanists are more sadistic than the Luciferians and are also called Natas. They have supplanted themselves in every aspect of life you can think of. The Satanists seek mind control and dominance, while the Luciferians seek to control the energies of others. They are best described as vampires who draw energy from others. These Luciferians are from a planet called Maldek. Maldek was the 11th planet. A portion of Maldek was discovered in 1878 AD, and then in 1915 AD, the remainder of what was Maldek was shot and destroyed. One of the beings that come from there are the Zeta, who have reproduced themselves for thousands of years by the cloning method. They are cruel and are better known as the Maldekians, Vulcans, or Troglodytes, or Trojans, who inhabit the yams, seas of tar, earth, under the Bermuda Triangle, and the Devil's Triangle area. Many ships of sea and air are reported to have mysteriously disappeared along with UFO sightings. Cities and laboratories exist in these areas that were made by the Maldekians. They have been trying to wipe the planet of Earthlings to take it for themselves. They developed into humanoids by adopting and mixing their seed with humans. They are the ones behind the music that is killing you. Do a search on the Weekly World News newspapers, September the 22nd, 1998 80, issue, page 46. The article is entitled U.S. Navy Sub Vanishes in Devil's Triangle by Michael K. Todd. The Vulcans that live in the sea, who are from the Mizar constellation, which is also referred to as Zeta Reticuli, a constellation in the Orion galaxy, caused a conflict between the Greys. There are 70 families of Greys now known. The establishment in 1962-80 was aware of 16 species. Since then, there have been other species of Greys discovered. They have spread out to different planets and solar systems. They called to hold a meeting between the primitives and the dragons. Both of these beings are disagreeable. They were testing humans with the hopes of breeding more humanoid beings to take over the planet. However, no peace agreement was made because the primitives from the Bermuda Triangle, sometimes called Atlantis, refused to cooperate and surrender to their ancestors. The ones who came in were hoping that the primitives from the Bermuda Triangle would accept the old ways from when they lived on planet Maldek, Vulcan, and follow their old leadership. However, they were wrong. So there has been a battle going on the planet Earth, beneath it, and interdimensionally between the two groups of grays. There are wars going on the surface of the earth and in the skies right now. The fights that are going on in the skies are covered up because they sow the sky. They sow up the sky. This process is done by using planes, a process where artificial clouds form and blanket the sky. One group is set on evacuating the planet Earth and taking control of it by imprisoning human beings and using them for food, and the other group is interested in the divine in humans, so they are breeding themselves with human beings. These star people that came to Earth, some were from the Zeta Reticuli group, or Zeta 1, which is really the Mizar star constellation. The name of their planet is Uranus. Zeta is what they call their formation. There is also Alpha, Earth. You beings, called human beings, are of what is called Alpha, Beta, etc. And they are named accordingly. So, in a star formation, there are many different planets with different forms of life. The beings from the planet Uranus in the Zeta 1 galaxy look like Orientals to you. The Voltex also resemble the beings from Uranus, with one exception. The Voltex have webbed hands and feet. They live underwater, being from the lost planet originally known as Maldek or Vulcan, and they are also called dragons or Voltex. However, we refer to them as troglodytes. They are usually plural. Their star fleet was named after the project they were assigned to, called Urenda. Urenda is the name given to the planet Earth. Unda and Alpha, known as Terra, sometimes called Taira, and Iridu as well. Tiwawa was the original name of the planet. These are the names of some of the officers of Urenda Starfleet. One star ship may have 100 passengers. There are many different sizes of ships. Have you ever noticed why you never see satellite photos of Earth from the North Pole or the South Pole. The famous story that is told is about a man, Admiral Richard Evelyn Byrd. In the year 1947 AD, Byrd made a flight into the South Polar region of the world. In the cockpit of his plane was a powerful two-way radio. When Byrd and his scientific companions took off from their base at the South Pole, they managed to fly 1,700 miles beyond it. Byrd reported something that he thought was utterly incredible. There was a valley below them. The valley that Byrd saw was not ice covered, which it should be, like the rest of the valleys in Antarctica. What Byrd saw was greenery, as if it was spring. There were mountains with thick forests of trees on them. He discovered a valley just beyond the South Pole, where the weather temperature was 76 degrees. When Byrd reported what he had seen, suddenly the press and the radio were hushed up. It was obvious that Byrd had come across the location of a great doorway or entrance leading deep into the interior of the earth. At the great door at the South Polar region, Richard E. Byrd reported the discovery of a large warm water sea near the South Pole and stretching beyond it. And now, in more recent times, newspapers are publishing reports of strange lakes and sightings around Antarctica. One such article appeared in the Globe tabloid dated January 18th, 1983 AD, entitled UFO Base Found Under the Antarctica, where Matthew Gargan, one of the NASA scientists who discovered the 186,000 square mile lake, told Globe the lake has no right being where it is, and there is no explanation as to how it got there. The scientists spotted the lake while studying photographs of Earth from the Nimbus 5 satellite. So just because the Earth's surface is 197,474 million square miles and the weight is sextillion tons, doesn't make it a solid. If your planet was a solid, then its weight would be much more. So this 600-mile diameter sun called Apsu, which was the west wind, bore a hole through this newly formed planet, now called Earth. This sun traveled through the great hole called the abyss for a distance of 3,963 miles to the center of the newly formed planet Earth. This is how the central sun, also known as the black sun, came into existence. The black sun really isn't black. It just gives the appearance of a black sun. It is the same when there is an eclipse of the sun and the aura from the sun behind it is shining, so it gives the appearance of blackness. The last of the Maldikian crash, called the South Wind, creating the Grand Canyon, and made Tiamat give birth to a small planet called Shishpai, which you call the moon today. That same craft also caused a black cloud to cover the planet. The Earth was now trapped in a new orbit and revolving every 365 days, giving a new time zone for this planet. Because of the difference of time zones or different concepts of time, I come to you, a being over 76 trillion years old, and know the information of your universe and the things before your creation. As a being from another galaxy, I am capable of doing things that are considered extraordinary to beings who cannot perceive these things now, but you will. Thus ends this 3-part video. We hope you have learned something from these videos, and we urge you to share these videos and to subscribe to the only channel where you will learn true ancient Egyptian mysteries. No more lies, no more guesswork. So share, subscribe, click on the like button below, and see you at the next video.